So I went and dove into the world of fan fiction and fell down a massive rabbit hole, basically. And the readers are so angry with these characters, so angry. Um, and the strange, sexy times, which, like as I said, I don't know how. I don't get into that.
Welcome to another episode of Women Authors Crushing It. I am so excited today to be joined by our WACI guest, the fabulous Hannah Haze. Hi, Hannah. So before we get started, please can I remind you to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you enjoy this, then please hit that like button. So thank you so much for joining us today, Hannah. My first question randomly is always, what are you drinking?
Cup of tea.
A cup of tea, just
6 months. Yeah.
milk, sugar.
It's a bit early to say I'm having a gin and tonic because it's only the afternoon. So tea at the moment.
Tea at the moment. Okay, I am on a lemon and ginger tea because I felt that I'd had a lot of caffeine this morning, and I needed to bring that down. So thank you. With that sorted, can you tell us a little bit about how your author journey began?
I was one of those kids that was always making up stories, making up little plays to show my parents. I was like the oldest. I'm the oldest child in the family, and then the cousins and all the friends. So I was always the one kind of in charge, making up games and stuff. And I loved English and I loved reading, but everybody kind of said, "You'll never make any money writing. You'll never sell a book." So I ended up doing chemistry at university, and then kind of going into a career where I was using science but also writing it at the same time. So I was working for like charities doing advocacy and campaigning, so a lot of communication, but not what I really wanted to do was writing. And in between I kind of did a creative writing course. I had a go at writing a few books and I never really got anywhere. And then about 5 years ago, me and my husband sat down and we watched The Last Jedi, which is a Star Wars film. And I was really, really taken by the kind of dynamic between the heroine and the villain. And I really wanted to know what was going to happen next. I couldn't bear to wait for the next film. So I went and dove into the world of fan fiction and fell down a massive rabbit hole, basically, with like lots of creatives making art, writing stories, like long, like novel length ones, and then little short stories. And I was like, wow, this is a great community. It was really supportive, lots of readers giving feedback. And so I started writing some stuff and putting it up and getting a good response. And it was like this community that I had needed all along and never been able to find. And I got completely swept into writing again. And then ended up self-publishing a book from off the back of it. Yeah. So very random, but it's a really good place to have started, because I think a lot of people are really sniffy about fan fiction and think, oh, it's a load of awful writing. But there were so many really good writers, and it was a really good way to learn the craft, to kind of get immediate feedback from readers about what they liked, what they didn't like, to kind of learn how to write a good blurb so that people would read your story, how to use social media and images. And so it was really good to kind of like practice.
It's obviously worked. It's obviously working really well for you, which is amazing. What's the most unexpected or the craziest thing to have happened to you since you started this author journey?
Well, so it's kind of amazing that anybody wants to read my stories in the first place. That kind of like amazes me every day. And then also like how passionate that readers get about stories. Like I've just released the first half of a duet, and it ends on a cliffhanger where the guys have completely messed up, and the readers are so angry with these characters. so angry. And like that kind of amazes me that they get that invested about these people that I made up as I was sitting at my desk. Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah, but as a readers, we do, don't we? Like, you could think of all the times we've been furious at characters, and I get furious at my own as well when I'm writing them. Okay, so we know that you are crushing it, but success is really personal. So what is success for you? Like, how do you define success?
I think that's a really difficult one, isn't it, to answer? Like you say, it's slightly different and it changes, you know. So like when I first published, it was just I just wanted someone to read my book. Um, and then it was like, oh, it would be nice if I could make enough money to do this full time. And now it's probably I went to Rare in London last year, which is I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a romance readers event, and it was huge. There were about 1,000 readers in there. Amazing atmosphere. Everybody really really excited about romance books, and there were some really big authors there who had queues for people, ticketed queues for people coming to see them. And I'm like, yes, that's what I want.
Yeah.
In a couple of years' time, I want a ticketed queue.
Oh, I am with you there. Yes, I will have that as a goal with you. Absolutely. A ticketed queue would be a dream. But yeah, like you said, like it has changed. And I think that's what we're finding when you speak to any author is it is stages. Success is stages. And after you've taken that first leap of going, right, I'm going to do it. I'm going
Yeah.
to publish my first book, then you're just working your way up this sort of ladder. So you've spoken, we know you write romance, but can you tell us a little bit more about your books?
Oh, okay. So I'm writing in two sort of different genres of romance at the moment. Both are paranormal. One is a kind of like a academy, magical academy series. So there's lots of them out there, and people often refer to them as like Harry Potter's for grown up. So they're, you know, a bit more sexy, and in this case it's a bully romance. So her with fated mates. So these are individuals who are destined to be with her by fate, but are resisting it and not very kind at the beginning. And over the series, they're going to, you know, come around and have to do a lot of groveling and making up, as well as kind of like big magical things happening in the background, a bit like Harry Potter. And then the other thing I write is Sweet Omegaverse. So I don't know if you've ever come across Omegaverse, Hannah. It's kind of a weird concept
Can you
that
just
originated
talk
in
us
fan fiction.
through? Can you talk us through the Omegaverse concept?
Like I don't know, I don't know what the rating for your for your podcast is, so I might not want to get into too detail. But if you've ever read like a werewolf romance where you kind of have um like hierarchy in their kind of societies, so they have alphas who are very much in charge, and betas who are kind of like normal people, and omegas that are often like these weird where they're kind of like at the bottom of but also quite treasured. And there's strange sexy times, which like as I said, I don't know how but in the Omegaverse, rather than changing into werewolves, they stay as humans. But it's kind of like, I think people like it because it's quite like the emotions are quite animalistic, and they're quite controlled by their hormones. They often can't resist each other, even when they hate each other. So I think that's why people like it. And when it's Sweet Omegaverse, it's, you know, the men involved are really, really in love and sweet and wonderful to her, even if occasionally they mess up.
Do you have, thank you for that as just a summary for it,
I
because
don't know
I
if it makes
need
sense
it.
at all.
I take ideas, but I'm sure I'm not alone in needing a little bit more. Do you have a favorite to write in, or do you just like the writing?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm really enjoying the Academia series at the moment. I think because I've written so many Omegaverse in the run up, so it's been really nice to write something a bit different. But no, I like both of it. I really like romance tropes. I don't know if you're the same, but I love things like fake dating and only one bed and all those things. I love them so much.
Yeah,
So any
they
chance
are.
I get to drop something like that in a book. The one I've just done was We've Woken Up Married in Las Vegas book.
Oh,
Which is another trope I love, yeah.
I know. After I went to Vegas last year, I was like, I'd quite like to do a marriage in Vegas. Hold on, did you do this after going to Vegas?
I think I got the idea, yeah.
So everybody who visits who's a writer is just like, I think we're gonna have a married in Vegas book. Love it. So, if you could be, obviously your characters, we are a relatively clean show, but if you could be one of your characters for a day, who would it be and why?
Oh, yeah, I think that's a really difficult question. I couldn't be my main character in the Academy series, who's called Ree, uh, because I'm way too much of a wimp, and like everybody being horrible to me, just be like a full cry. I wouldn't be able to do anything. So definitely one of my Omega verse books where they treat her like a princess. Probably B from Pack Rivals, just because she's a really fun character, and she's got a really lovely pack of alphas, but she's also got a really lovely best friend, which is always nice to have.
Absolutely. Yeah, you want the support around there. So what's in the future? Like what is planned for you? So obviously you're writing these Academy ones. Yeah, is there plans for big series with that? Are you moving genres again anytime soon? Like what can we expect from you?
I'm not very good at planning. My husband is really, really cross with me. So I'm not one of these people who's like got their books planned for like 3 years in advance. I'm much more like the next few months is as far as I can plan. And then we'll see what happens, what people want to read, what I fancy writing. This Academy series is going to be 5 books, and the third one comes out in April. So that's going to keep me busy. And I will write some more Omegaverse ones because my readers love them, and I'll be in trouble if I don't. But after that, I'm a bit like, I don't know. I'll see
whatever takes your
yeah.
Which is a great place to be, right? To be in a sort of to write what you enjoy and to write what your readers want you to read is amazing. You said that your readers gets quite angry at the some of the endings. So do they respond to you? Do you get emails and the like from these readers telling you that they're cross about things?
Yeah, not a lot of kind of like, when's the next one coming? And I'm like, as fast as I can. But they want them like yesterday, which isn't always possible. So yeah, I get a lot of like, when's the next book? When's it coming out? Are you really going to make us wait that long? But yeah, nothing meaner than that. But what you're saying about being able to kind of like choose what you want to write, I think that's one of the really big advantages of being self-published, is the fact that you can pivot really, really quickly. You're not like having to wait for your book to be published for a year. If you suddenly like get an inspiration, you can sit down and write it and have it out as quickly as you can write the book. It's definitely one of the advantages.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I mean, I do both. I'm very much a hybrid author, but I think that is one of the reasons that I couldn't stop and go fully traditional with all my books, is because that freedom of creativity is why we do it, right? We want to be creative, and that means, changing things and evolving what we do. And so I think, yeah, self-publishing definitely has opened the doors for writers to be able to evolve and try different genres in a way that they probably couldn't do so easily before.
Yeah.
So we are coming to the end of my questions. But we need to know where listeners or viewers, if you are watching on YouTube, where they can find your books.
So all my books are on Amazon. I'm exclusive to Amazon. I also have audiobooks that are on Audible. And you can find like a list of them, as well as an explanation about how the Omegaverse works. More detailed explanation on my website, which is www.hannahhaze.com.
Amazing. And we will have the links to all the books put on down below somewhere here as well. So thank you very much. Hannah, thank you so much for joining us. It has been really lovely learning about you and your books and the Omegaverse. People listening or watching, please don't forget to subscribe and like today's show. Let us know in the comments if there's anything in particular you love, or you have any questions for Hannah, and also maybe who you want to see on the show next. Thank you all, and till next time, keep crushing it.